Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Pencil Drawing, a Beginner's Guide. In this video, you will learn basic elements of light, shadows and shading, and also how to draw basic face and head proportions. Chapter 2, Drawing Basic Face Head Proportion. Please follow along with my presentation on the drawing pad so you have a better understanding on facial structures before you begin working on the actual drawing. Notice that if you look at the human skull and divide it into 4x4 grid, the eyes are directly in the center of the face. By applying the same division to a human face, we can see that the line appears right on the top of the eyeball in most faces. Another interesting observation is that the center of the eye roughly lines up with the edges of the mouth, and the edge of the nose generally line up with the inside corners of the eyes. You should keep these lines in mind if your figure is not looking directly at you. Also remember that the head is really skull shaped with just the attachments of nose, lips and hair, etc. I'm going to use Neeraj Chopra's as my reference photograph and my subject of drawing, and I will show you the different type of outline techniques used in drawing. Number 1, which is a freehand method where you divide the skull into the two halves and then you add the attachments like eyes, nose, hair, hands, lips, ears, etc. The second method is the grid method. To use the grid method, you need to have a ruler, a paper copy of your reference image, and a pencil to draw lines on the image. You will also need a work surface upon which you will be transferring the photos such as paper, canvas, wood panel, etc. The most important thing to remember when drawing the grid is that they must have a ratio of 1:1, which is very important, otherwise your drawing will be distorted. Basically, a 1:1 ratio means that you will have the exact same number of lines on your canvas as you will have on the reference photo, and that in both cases the line must be equal spaced apart, perfect squares. Now I'm going to extract graphite charcoal dust for shading large dark areas in drawing, and I'm going to show you how to use it. Now you can take any makeup brush, it comes in different sizes, and use it for blending. Now let's talk about basic elements of shading. The highlight or the full light. There is full light when the light hits straight at an object that reflects the brightest areas in your drawing. That's called the highlight and full light. The cast shadow. This refers to those areas in the drawing which is the darkest and requires more shading. Cast shadows occurs in completely light, blocked places where objects inside cast shadows on other surfaces. And the half tones, in the addition called the mid tone, that refers to those areas just in between the dark and the light areas and appears to have gray value. Mid-tone reflects the true consistency in terms of an object's color. The reflected light. This light is near white or very light gray but not totally white and is important in projecting a dimension on an object. This is the light reflected to an object from its nearby surface. The shadow edge, those areas found just in between the midtones and the reflected light. Let's talk about different shading techniques. Regular shading, moving the pencil from left to right or top to bottom produces this shading technique. Irregular shading, as opposed to the regular shading, the pencil's direction in irregular shading changes at intervals. Circular shading, instead of making straight lines or making irregular strokes, a circular motion is used. Directional shading, two directions are used in shading, although they should not overlap each other.
Let's just begin.
Here are some tips on tones and values. In shading, it is better to use a blunt pencil than a very sharp one. Use B pencil since they are darker and will give enough depth into drawings. Once you start shading, pressure applied changes gradually since the shading must appear or look even. Make your strokes near to each other that it will be difficult to notice the different strokes. Do not overshade the drawing because it will be easier to add tones, then remove them by eraser. Do not draw definite outlines when you want to shade because shading makes use of light and dark to create forms. Okay, so now we are moving on to how to add tones and values to your drawings. In shading, the proper lighting and shadowing is very important to make your drawings look three-dimensional and closer to reality. First, imagine the position of the light source. After this, you can determine the direction of the shadow as well as the size and the shape. Here is the illustration which is showing you the same. When you apply shading to your drawing, always remember that nothing should be all black or all white. In many drawings with shading, the light part contrasted against the black look white, but these are very light shades of gray. There are tones in between white and black, referred to as half tones. And this rectangle is the outcome of putting together all the half tones. These half tones give out the illusion of shape. Notice how shading can substantially change a drawing.
I begin to
for sure.
So guys, now that we have come to the end of the video, I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I hope you learned the techniques of pencil drawing. I know it's a beginner's guide and I made it very simple and easy for you guys to try it on yourself. And yeah, if you do follow this tutorial, you can send me your drawings on my Instagram. Link is in the description box. Here I'm using a fixative spray to seal my drawing or any of your artwork. Just seal it with a fixative spray and then it's ready to be framed and displayed. Thanks for watching and bye for now.